Hello friends, today's topic is epidural anesthesia. This epidural anesthesia is very important because this blocks results in sympathetic blockade, sensory anesthesia or analgesia and motor blockade. It depends on dose, concentration and volume of the local anesthetic agent. It blunts stress response to surgery. It lowers post-operative thromboembolic events. It extends analgesia in post-operative period. Now we will see the anatomy of the epidural space. Epidural space extends from foramina magnum to sacral hiatus. It lies outside and encircles the dural sac, which contains spinal cord and CSF. Beyond the epidural space lies a spinal meninges and CSF. The diameter of the epidural space varies from cervical to sacral region. It is largest at lumbar and it is smallest at cervical level. It contains loose areolar tissue, fatty tissue, venous plexus, they are called as Batson plexus, and anterior and posterior nerve roots with its coverings. It also contains lymphatics. Anteriorly it is bounded by posterior longitudinal ligament. Laterally there are pedicles and intervertebral foramina. Posteriorly there is anterior surface of the lamina and ligamentum flavum. There is a negative pressure in extradural space. In lumbar space this negative pressure is 0.5 to 1 cm of water. In thoracic it is 1 to 3 cm water. The cause of negative pressure is the causes: number 1, dimpling of the dura by needle, and another important is transfer of negative pressure from thorax via paravertebral spaces. Now the site of action of local anesthetic agent when it is given in epidural space. Drug acts on nerve roots in extradural spaces, nerve roots in paravertebral spaces and intradural or subarachnoid space after inward diffusion of the drug across the dura. Sensory block is complete and motor paralysis is less. It depends upon the concentration of the local anesthetic agent. Now we will see the factors that influence spread of local anesthetic solution in epidural space. The spread depends on volume of the solution injected. If the volume injected is more, there will be greater spread and density of block is also increased. There is more cephalad spread of the drug. Second, age. Old patient require less dose. Why they require less dose? Because due to decrease in size and compliance of the epidural space. Less spread of the drug laterally than height. Taller patients may require higher dose. Site of injection. The drug which is injected that spreads cranially and caudally. It depends upon the length of the vertebral column. Then when we inject the local anesthetic agent into epidural space, what are the physiological changes occurs? Number 1, cardiovascular system. There is decrease in blood pressure due to sympathectomy below the level of block, and this sympathectomy causes vasodilatation. It decreases afterload. There are tachycardia. There will be tachycardia to compensate decrease in systemic vascular resistance. Bradycardia will occur if height of the block is above the level of T4. It will cause fall in right atrial filling, which decreases outflow from chronotropic receptors located in the right atrium. On the respiratory system, ventilation is well maintained as long as diaphragm is not affected or impaired. The root values of diaphragm C3, C4, 5. That means height of the block is below that, ventilation will be maintained. Bladder distension. Due to sympathetic blockade, there is bladder distension and it requires catheterization for urine retention. On GIT, intestinal contractions. It is due to sympathetic blockade and parasympathetic predominance. Neuroendocrinal changes. Neural block above the T8, it will block sympathetic afferent to the adrenal medulla. It will inhibit stress response. The blood sugar level, better control, better maintained. Then thermoregulation. It lowers body temperature. It is due to peripheral vasodilatation. There are more chances of shivering can occur. Now we will see what are the advantages. Well-defined area of anesthesia during epidural block. It is also called as segmental anesthesia. Duration of anesthesia can be prolonged as per duration of surgery by giving repeated bolus drug through the epidural catheter. It will minimize infection of the spinal cord. There are less incidence of nausea and vomiting. There are less problems of urine retention. It will provide post-operative analgesia, less danger of neurological sequelae, and it is suitable in patients with asthma, emphysema. What are the disadvantages? It is technically difficult as compared to spinal anesthesia. There is incomplete muscle relaxation as compared to spinal. There are large volumes of local anesthetic agents will be required. There are chances of dural puncture, and we can inject large amount of drug in subarachnoid space. It will result in total spinal block. Then there are risks of entering drug into veins during catheter insertion, and inadvertent IV injection can occur. It will lead to local anesthesia systemic toxicity. Then spread of block may be non-uniform and segmental. There are chances of back pain. Now we will see the indications of epidural block for all lower limb surgeries, hip and knee surgeries. Epidural anesthesia reduces blood loss. It will reduce the incidence of DVT. It is used in obstetric patients. Labor analgesia is indicated in preeclampsia, valvular heart disease, in lower abdominal operations. What are the contraindications? There are absolute contraindications and relative contraindications. Absolute, patient's refusal. Then coagulopathy, therapeutic anticoagulation, skin infection at the site of injection. Then patients with raised intracranial tension. In these patients, if there is accidental dural puncture in the patient with raised intracranial pressure, it may lead to brain stem herniation. In severe hypovolemia, because it causes hypotension, and in patients of low and fixed cardiac output states, severe constrictive pericarditis, cardiac tamponade, mitral stenosis, and severe aortic stenosis. These are the absolute contraindications. What are the relative contraindications? Relative uncooperative patient. Then pre-existing neurological disorders like multiple sclerosis. In patients having spinal deformity, congenital deformity, traumatic, post-laminectomy. Patient with mild to moderate stenotic heart disease. Now we will see the epidural needles. This epidural block is given by epidural needles. The name of epidural needle is Tau's needle. The gauge 16 to 18. The length is 8 cm. There are surface markings at 1 cm interval. The tip is blunt. There is a gentle curve. The degree of curve at the tip is 15 to 30 degree at the tip. It is called as Hubbard's tip. Then epidural catheters. There are two types of epidural catheter: single end hole or number of side holes. In practice, we use number of side holes. The incidence of inadequate analgesia is less with multi-port catheters. Now we will see which are the drugs they are used during epidural anesthesia. Lignocaine 1 to 2%, bupivacaine 0.25 to 0.5%, ropivacaine 0.2 to 0.5%. Adrenaline is used in 1 in 2 lakh solution. It causes less systemic absorption of local anesthetic drug. It prolongs the duration of action. It may cause more intense blockade of the nerve fibers. Then the position in which position epidural anesthesia is given. It is given in sitting position, lateral position. Caudal epidural anesthesia is given in prone position in adults and lateral decubitus position in children. What are the approaches? It can be given in median and paramedian approach. The technique: we insert the epidural needle, a syringe filled with normal saline is attached to it. It is advanced slowly. As needle enters into the epidural space, there is sudden loss of resistance and it allows the solution to flow easily without resistance. Then we give the test dose. After introduction of needle into space, one should aspirate and confirm negative aspiration. Test dose must be given to avoid subarachnoid or intravascular injection. The dose is 3 ml of 1.5% lignocaine with 1 in 2 lakh epinephrine is given as a test dose. Then we monitor pulse rate, blood pressure, respiratory rate. If there are no changes, then entire dose of local anesthetic is given. If after giving test dose, that is 3 ml of 1.5% lignocaine, if there is increase in heart rate by 30 beats per minute, that means it is intravascular. And if patient is on beta blocker, if increase in systolic blood pressure by 20 mmHg, that means we may be intravascular. Then the complications. Number one, the complications due to catheters. Number one, there may be misplacement of catheter. There are chances of kinking of catheter. There are chances of occlusion of catheter. There may be damage of catheter, shearing damage on bevel of the needle, and migration of the catheter. These are the catheter related complications. Then other complications: hypotension and cardiovascular depression. Inadequate patchy block, and there are total spinal block. If subarachnoid injection of large volume of local anesthetic is given inadvertently into subarachnoid space, the treatment will be arterial blood pressure and heart rate should be supported, Trendelenburg position to maximize venous return, IV atropine is given, potent catecholamine, ventilation support, tracheal intubation and mechanical ventilation for 1 to 2 hours. Then local anesthesia systemic toxicity can occur if drug of local anesthetic goes intravascularly. There occurs central nervous system stimulation due to selected inhibition of inhibitory neurons in cerebral cortex. It causes disorientation, twitching, convulsions. After blood levels are high enough, the inhibitory and facilitatory pathways are inhibited and it causes central nervous system depression. Then there is depression of cardiovascular system, hypotension, bradycardia can occur. Treatment: give oxygen by mask. Tracheal intubation not mandatory unless ventilation is ineffective. Succinylcholine to facilitate ventilation and reduce magnitude of metabolic acidosis. Hypocapnia may occur due to medullary depression by local anesthetic agent. Then another complication is epidural hematoma. It will present as a back pain, leg weakness. It can be diagnosed by CT and MRI. If hematoma is not surgically decompressed within 6 to 8 hours, neurological recovery is rare. Therefore, it is dreaded complications. Then epidural abscess or meningitis. It is rare with proper sterile technique. This complication is linked to respiratory bacteria when anesthesiologist perform epidural without mask. Then another complication is post-dural puncture headache. It is caused by accidental dural puncture with large epidural needle. Treatment: analgesics, caffeine, somatotriptan, epidural blood patch. The 20 ml of patient's sterile blood is placed in the epidural space to seal the dural hole and to prevent the further leakage. Now, what are the differences between spinal and epidural block? The local anesthetic, dose of the local anesthetic is high as well as the volume of the drug required for the epidural anesthesia is more as compared to spinal anesthesia. In epidural, there are chances of intravascular injection which are not there in spinal anesthesia. Epidural is technically difficult as compared to spinal anesthesia. As epidural block is slow in onset than spinal, the degree of hypotension is less. The chances of rare complications as like total spinal are there in epidural but not in spinal anesthesia. Thank you.